and this subject of energy efficiency and conservation becomes one of our prime material issue. Any company in a private sector cannot keep operating, cannot make profit if it is money out of your pocket. Whatever you are earning, that is the efficiency, because you in electric utility sector, this is a regulated business. Down of the pipeline means from where you are purchasing the electricity and where you are supplying. So your profit is your efficiency. Higher the efficiency, higher the profit, higher the money you go away. You lose. So efficiency is the number one material issue. Energy efficiency is the number one material issue for us. Energy conservation is also a topmost priority for us, for this type of company. And of course, when we say energy efficiency and energy conservation, and when we are also operating one generating station, the climate change also becomes a priority for us. Climate change mitigations and our efforts towards the climate change. Now, to share with you that what is specific and unique that we are doing for this course. You might be knowing that recently India has given Panchamrit to the world. Our Honorable Prime Minister and Narendra Modi ji has given 5 points to the world in recently completed COP26. And out of those 5 points, mention especially the 2 points here, that India will bring its non-fossil fuel energy capacity to 500 gigawatt by 2030. When we say 500 gigawatt, this is a non-fossil fuel. Second point, India will fulfill 50 and India was one of the country in this COP26 to give time-bound targets. By taking these 2 points, when you know please also recall that at the same time, India has also submitted its commitment for UN Energy Compact, United Nations Energy Compact. There, India has committed to build 450 gigawatt of renewables. It means this 500 megawatt of non-fossil fuel from solar and wind sources. So now it becomes the responsibility of the companies to take this, to support this, to also see the opportunities in this. What Adani Transmission is doing, ATL, Adani Transmission, has become the first company in its class in the country for UN Energy Compact that was announced in the COP26. And by doing this, ATL, Adani Transmission, becomes one of the 20 companies. That number I am not recalling how many companies from all over the world has submitted UN Energy Compact, has committed to that. but one of the 20 companies in India to sign for the UN Energy Compact, and that compact is to support SDG, Sustainable Development, affordability of the energy and modernization of the energy. So we are committed to SDG 7. ATL will be sourcing 60% of its electricity from renewable sources for onward supply and onward distribution in the business. Present figure is 3%. We will be increasing another 2 years and 60% by financial year by FY 25-26. So this has been committed. So what it will do? It will support the renewable companies to produce more power. This will give them a counter guarantee also that their power will get solved. So we will be sourcing all green power. Besides, we have given the options first time in the country to the Mumbai customers that they can opt for purchasing on that green power, on the RE power, which our suppliers are costing us. We can pass on it to the customers, and it is their choice if they want to procure 100% of the renewables. So this power of the choice we have given to the customers. And the good news is that a lot of customers are opting for that. So you will see there are people, there are customers in the country, those who are ready to pay more if something is clean and something is renewable. Going further, we have also submitted for the Science Based Target Initiatives SBTI, and there are different levels of the SBTI, and the topmost level is commitment to reduce emissions to contain global warming within 1.5 degree centigrade scenario, 1.5 scenario. So Adani Transmission has submitted its commitment to the SBTI in line with the 1.5 scenario. What it takes to do, it will need to do a significant reductions in the emissions from the present baseline. Means it will need to do significant improvement in the energy efficiency. So our planning, number one, I have already told to you that we will be shifting to the renewables to purchase the renewables in the total energy mix for onward supply and distribution to Mumbai. Besides that, all new transmission lines that we are building are the latest technology, are the HVDC transmission lines. So that comes with a more efficiency, not only in the efficiency in the way of the transmission and less losses, but also in the efficiency from the land use requirement. You reduce the requirement of the supporting pillars and poles, and you reduce the requirement of maybe around 40% requirement of the land for the right of way, because wherever you put your towers, so for that footprint at least you need the land for the on the long term lease, so that is called right of way, ROW. So we are opting all latest technologies, HVDC based technologies, so there will be less losses, more efficiency. So this is what we are doing. So with this information, I would like to add here that various other initiatives that are being taken first time for the customers. We are joining hands with The companies, those who are making the energy efficient appliances, home appliances. And we are building packages with those companies so that those more energy efficient appliances becomes more affordable to the customers. So we are joining hands with the Godrej and other companies for the efficient energy appliances, and we are supporting that. So this is part of our demand side supply management. And you will see that this is one of the prime objective of the BEE, Bureau of Energy Efficiency, a demand side supply management. And within this demand side supply management, BEE work with agriculture sector, a small and medium scale industries sector, and discoms. So we are one of the discom, a distribution company in the Mumbai, and for that we are supporting a demand side management by joining hands, by supporting the companies and the products which are more efficient, home appliances which are more energy efficient. So this is second initiative. First, I have already told you that now all of you know that future will be of RE, renewable, and when it is RE, renewable, in the automobile sector and the mobility, future will also be of EV vehicles. So we are supporting EV vehicles. We are one of the few companies from the country, those who have committed uh, for an initiative taken by World Business Council on Sustainable Development. From present level to the 65 or 70% EVs by 2030 within a decade. So it will need to support and to build the EV ecosystem, charging infrastructure. For that, the government is building suitable policies. So our company have already committed to that. We are also tying up. We are also taking lots of initiatives there can be better ecosystem, better charging stations in the future, and we can take part in that. And there can be more and more EV coming onto the roads, and there are faster inclusion of the EVs. So these are our major initiatives. So on this subject, because this day is Energy Conservation Day, and the Honorable Dr. B.K. Chaudhary and Dr. Dipankar Das Gupta ji have already taken us through the energy in 2000, become effective from 2001, and we came in the picture with an agenda to promote, to make standards for the energy efficiency and conservation in the country, gives power to the central government to make standards, also gives power to the state government to make energy efficient. Uh, give them powers and teeth to take actions against the companies or against the appliances, those who are not falling on the line. And in that lineup, we all see different star rating appliances, 2-star, 3-star, 5-star rating appliances. So what we understand that energy conservation, conservation is something when you, conservation is not against the harvesting of something, but this is a state where you harvest something within a limit so that the resource start replicating itself, store and resource starts rebuilding itself. It do not go down, but it keeps sometime that state requires no harvesting, but it is not always like that. So for the energy conservation, one of the action is the improving energy efficiency and doing a judicious harvesting of the resource. Judicious harvesting of the resource of the energy, is one of our top material issue, and that is in our sustainability agenda. And I would like to share with you that our definition of the sustainability is a very wide definition. You will find various definitions of the sustainability, but sustainability for us is a way of doing business. Take an example. I have shared with you that we are improving from present 3% of the renewables to the 60% of the renewables in next 5 years to make the energy more reliable and affordable and modern in the country, that is in line with the SDG 7. This also becomes for us a business case, because you are today, I am amongst you, and you are the first institute in the management in the country. So it becomes more relevant to share with you that linked it with our finance. Recently, earlier we used to depend on the Indian banks to take funds for our growth. Now, funds are becoming boundaryless. You can take funding from international banks also, but and international investors also, the institutional investors also, but they ask you what different you are doing, how you will be serving to the society and community, and how you will be doing that with the best efficiency, mitigating the climate change. So recently, Adani Transmission Limited was in need of the funds, because our objective is to grow from present 1800 circuit kilometer to the 30,000 circuit kilometers, because that is the requirement of the government of India. So we have gone for the funding through the bond market, and we have issued a sustainability linked bond, SLB. And that sustainability linked bond, we have used some KPIs, and one of the KPIs was to reduce our emissions and to improve from present 3% to 60% uh, energy sourcing from renewables. And you know what happened? This bond, let me share the value of this to you. This bond was, this SLB sustainability linked bond was 2 billion, $2 billion. And this is oversubscribed by 9.5 times. And who was the subscribers of this? 37% European banks, 30% US banks, and rest of Asian banks. So this is linked with our funding pipeline today. Being more efficient, conserving energy is linked with our funding pipeline, and that also support to us. And by doing that, we grow and we do that more efficiently, and we support to the the objectives of the government of India, because our vision is nation building and supporting the nation in its development agenda. Also give me a relevance of all of this to you, that when government of India says that there will be 450 gigawatt of renewable by 2030, it's mean lot of renewable solar and wind is suitable for the solar and wind. Means new power plant will be coming at different locations. For solar, it will be coming in the high radiation area like Rajasthan, some of the area Gujarat, central part of India. For wind, it will be coming closer to the coastal areas or the high altitude area. So when new plants, new generating stations will come in the new area, country will need the companies who can evacuate the power by building transmission line from these new plants. So there we comes in the picture to fulfill the need of the nation for the nation building, where there is a requirement for the customers and the country. So we comes in after like Adani transmission, because a lot of new plants will be coming and we will be there to evacuate the power. And for that purpose, government invite companies to bid on tariff-based bidding. Tariff-based bidding means whoever comes to evacuate unit of power or X amount of power at the lowest tariff, at the lowest cost. So that needs being updated, being ahead curve, use best material, low cost material, and win those bids. But in infrastructure and he don't have to operate, he can construct it with a bad quality, which is difficult to operate. But what is the uniqueness of the Adani transmission? We are not only in construction of these transmission line, but we are also in the operation. So whatever we are constructing, whatever we are building, we will also be operating that infrastructure for next 25 to 30 years. It means we will need to be advanced in the technology, and we have to win those bids by quoting the minimum cost, and after that the quality should be so that there is no losses and there is no issue in the operation. So that requires us to be dependent on technology, always ahead of the curve, be sustainable, be more and more energy efficient, and ultimately all of this supports to the agenda of energy conservation. So this is all to say from my side. I have taken 3 minutes more. I was supposed to finish by 55, so that there are 5 minutes if there is any question. I am giving this back to the moderator, please.
Thank you, sir. If anyone have any question, please put it in the chat box.
Any questions in
Perhaps
case you have, you can send it to us. We can forward to Mr. Praveen ji. Maybe we'll respond or email once he receives them. I mean, in case you cannot answer now, we cannot question now. Maybe you can take some time and develop your question and send it to us. We'll respond to that.
that is also feasible. So I will thanks again to the IISWBM, to the moderator of this program, all senior here today. Also, I thanks to my co-speakers and regret that unfortunately I have to travel. I will need to quit this event now. So I look forward to be on any other event in future and listen to Mr. Hans, Dr. Deepak, and Dr. Shashi later on. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much. We are honored.
Is Mr. Hans Kroder, SOTC 323 Circular Economy Convenor Working Group 3, Measuring Circularity. Please welcome Mr. Hans Kroder.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored to be invited. Can you hear me well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me see. No. Of Teams and Zoom and not working with Google. I tried to see. Can you see the screen now? The presentation material?
No, no, no.
Not yet. Um,
Hans, there is an arrow button there. Arrow buttons.
Ronin, can
click
you
on
advance,
click on the
Ronin?
arrow button.
let me
And
see.
now you can show your slides. It will show there. Right? Once you do that.
Okay, now let me
No,
see.
it's not presenting yet.
Now, is it now on the screen?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir, coming.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, you can see it now?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, well, I can only see the presentation. I cannot see the participants and I cannot see the chat. But okay, I will move on with the presentation. I'm one of the chairs, conveners of a new ISO program on circular economy. And the ISO system means that every country has a national standardization body. And in India, that is the BIS, Brazil, ABNT, and then in the Netherlands. And ISO standards are being developed together with industry, government, NGOs, labor organizations, consumers, academics. So there are 33,000 standards, and some well-known standards are 9001 on quality management, 14,001 on environmental management, 14,044 on life cycle assessment, which is important for the and for renewable energy. The ISO program on circular economy already has 85 countries who are participating in the development of a number of standards. And we who are contributing to the work, like liaisons from Ellen MacArthur Foundation, from the United Nations, the World Business Council on Sustainable Development, and new liaisons are coming up, like the World Resource Institute and UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. Maybe I can use the pointer. Let me see the laser pointer, if it's working. Can you see the laser pointer?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes, okay. So the first standard, which is a kind of fundamental standard, is a framework on principles and implementation. And this gives a common understanding of the circular economy. Then there are two standards which are directly aligned, and one of them is focusing on the business models and circular strategies and the value networks. And then 59020, that's the standard where I am. And there are two more standards which are being developed. One of them is focusing on the product part, so more the data which needs to be exchanged between companies and suppliers and customers. And then there's a specific standard on secondary materials, because there are a lot of recycling activities going on in developing countries where the circumstances for safety and labor are not always that good. So we are developing 5 standards together, and more standards will be follow up in the future. First, I would like to ask you a question. about the circular economy. Which statement is correct? Number one, the circular economy is about contributing to resource availability over time. Or number two, the circular economy is about producing more with less. What do you think?
Option 1, sir.
Okay, but it's also for the students. And indeed, the answer is option 1, that the circular economy is about contributing to resource availability over. So we really need to avoid that. Then I have another question. When did the concept of circular economy emerge? Was that in the 70s, the 80s, the 2000 or 2012? What do you think? Which option?
Option B is a
There was already in the 70s from the European Commission, there were already as a plan which was discussing that we needed more loops in the circular in the economy. Then end of 80s we had the cradle to cradle, which came up by Michael Brancard and William McDonough. And then in the 90s there was for the first time the word circular economy that was used. And because we needed also economics of natural resources, that was English economists. Then in the 90s, there was also from America some experts who were talking about zero waste. There was also a recycling network director participating. In 2011, we had from the United Nations, the Environment Program, that there was a plan to decouple natural resources use from economic growth. And then in 2012, we received an initiative from an English expert, Ellen MacArthur, and she had a foundation on circular economy. And then a couple of years ago, the European Commission introduced the Green Deal, which also includes the circular economy objectives, and ISO started a circular economy program. And maybe some of you have seen this butterfly model on the left side, the biological cycles. And what Ellen MacArthur was explaining is that we need to close the loop. We need to close the loop when products from the user are being not being dispended, but being repaired by the user for himself or herself, and that products would be maintained by the service provider and go back to the user. And then another loop is try to reuse and distribute the product with help of the product manufacturer, and then even a further loop where we try to refurbish or remanufacture or maybe recycle product manufacturer and go back to the user. So try to close the loops, the technical loops, and also try to close the biological loops by improving the regeneration. And here you see, for example, that energy is being produced, biogas energy from composting of for example, feedstock. So here's also renewable energy which is being produced. So Ellen MacArthur has been adopted and has been, her philosophy has been adopted by many companies and also governments. So this was a really important initiative. And she said we need to and we need to eliminate waste. And we need to take care that resources are circulated and that the nature has the opportunity to be regenerated again. And she said that the circular economy gives us the opportunity also to tackle climate change and biodiversity loss. And together, and this is also important, while addressing important social needs. It gives us the power to grow prosperity, jobs, and resilience while cutting greenhouse gas emissions, waste, and pollution. So this was really from a private person, a very important initiative, which has been adopted, like I said, by many companies already. However, what is the circular economy? What is it? Because there are more than 100 definitions worldwide. So we need to have the same language. And what we have defined so far is that circular economy is an economic system that uses a systemic approach to maintain a circular flow of resources by regenerating, retaining, or adding to their value. So it's all about circularity and closing the loops and keep and maintain and retain the value of these resources. And very important, there's some overarching goal which we agreed on is contributing to sustainable development. And that means contributing also to social, environmental, and economic aspects. I have 7 concepts. I would like to ask to you which one is true and which one is false. First, circular economy is about eco-design thinking. Design out waste and pollution. What do you think? True or false? Number 2,
False.
false. Okay.
One is false. One.
Well, one is true. So circular economy is about design out waste and pollution, and this eco-design. Eco-design thinking is mentioned a lot here. Then number 2, circular economy should also consider social aspects to improve the
That's
well-being
true.
of people and society. What do you think?
That's true, of course.
Yes.
True.
Decreasing the use of virgin material. What do you think?
True, sir.
Yes. Circular economy means to consider not only value chains, but also creating, for example, cross-sectoral value networks. It's sometimes mentioned industrial symbiosis. What do you think?
True.
Yeah.
Yes, very good. Circular economy is about life cycle thinking and closing economic loops.
True.
Yes. Circular economy requests for rethinking relationships and collaboration.
True.
Yes, sometimes you need to maybe go to another supplier or have other contracts with your customers. Okay. And circular economy needs a long-term economy vision for the life of future generations.
True, of course.
True.
Yes. So as you can see, there are a lot of concepts which are included in this circular economy way of working. So that means that we may need quite a transformation. We need quite a shift. So the circular economy requests a change in mindset for governments, for industry, and also for consumers. Then there was already the previous speaker talking about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Well, which Sustainable Development Goal
All the sustainability goals.
Yes, well, all are important. Like we have the overarching goal, and we want to contribute to all the 17 goals. That's absolutely true. While in real practice, the goal that is being mentioned most is goal number 12. Ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. And because if we do nothing, we will need 3 planets in 2050. because of population growth. So we important transformation which we need to do all people, all companies, all governments on the world. And when we look at the SDGs, then also number 9, so goal number 12 and goal number 9 are in the center, because goal number 9 is about buildings and infrastructure and roads and bridges, and that has a huge impact, on the resources and materials being used. So what we analyzed is that by putting these SDGs as central, that we can have a positive contribution to many other SDGs, like a good health and well-being, clean water, of course, affordable and clean energy. We can contribute because when we create that we are using, of course, should become renewable as much as possible. We can influence the decent work, and we still can influence economic growth, sustainable cities, climate actions, life below water, life on land. So we have developed an annex which we try to explain that circularity indicators can contribute to the SDG targets and also to the SDG key performance indicators. So this is really important. Looking to the energy, renewable energy recovery, what we say is energy recovery, our definition that we are using right now is this is generation of useful energy through direct and controlled combustion of recovered resources. However, we have 2 notes, and that is forms of useful energy include usable heat and electricity, and considered the least desirable final option for use of recovered resources. So we don't want to burn resources to create the energy. So this is should really be the final option. Then I have a question: how much resources do you think return from the take, produce, provide economy? Is that less than 10%? Is it 20% or 30 or 50? So how much resources return? What do you think?
It depends country-wide, industry-wide.
Yes, absolutely. It depends. Absolutely. However, the news, the answer is not so positive, because when we analyze a lot of different flows, like fossil fuels, minerals, ores, and biomass, we see that what is being cycled back is less than 10%. And this is a report work to do. And one of the things is the 9R model. That means that that are different circular strategies which you can apply, and it all starts with maybe refuse or rethink or reduce. So then we can use less material, maybe less virgin material, and then when we try to expand the lifetime of products, it's about try to reuse, repair, refurbish, remanufacture, or maybe even repurpose materials and components. And then we also have recycling, and the last sorry, I need to close this. And the last part is then recovery and burn materials, which we want to avoid. Yes. And this is an example for from a very small company in my country, the Netherlands, which created a mobile phone, and almost everyone in the world is using a mobile phone. And they created a mobile phone which is 100% circular, and the himself. So if the glass is broken, you can simply buy a new glass, which is very cheap, and you can repair it immediately yourself. So all the parts and components can be reused, recycled, remanufactured, etc. And this was only being created by a very small company, so not Apple or Samsung. So it is doable. When we are talking about measuring and assessing the circularity, then the World Business Council already said in 2018 that we need to establish a common framework across all industries, and that it would be a big step forward if we can measure it, if we can measure the circularity performance. And the framework is quite simple, in fact. It's about requirements and needs from organizations where we define the goal and scope of the measurement. We will execute the measurement, and we have a lot of interaction with the data acquisition. And that's, of course, not easy, acquiring all the data, because there's a lot of data with suppliers which is not transparent. And then we do a circularity assessment. And the circularity assessment is not only looking at the circularity performance, we will also look goes back. So we are looking the context of what we are trying to measure and assess can be different circularity strategies, different systems, and different levels. And I'll explain that later. Complementary methods, like for example, the Sustainable Development Goals, which we can use for the assessment part. And of course, we need to consult the target audience, users, and stakeholders. This is a stepwise approach, and the steps have iteration. It's not a plan, do, check, act. It's a management system. You don't need an extra management system. And what we did in 2020, we investigated all the circularity indicator systems that were out there, and most of those implemented. And we analyzed all these systems, and we found out there are more than 1,400 indicators being used and more than 200 categories. So we concluded that we really need a proper taxonomy. Taxonomy means classification and also to check overlaps in all these kinds of systems. And this is under development, what we are developing right now, and this is a first glance, is that the circularity measurement taxonomy is looking at different categories like waste and emissions, the material and product outflows, the material inflows, for example, virgin material, but also is used for the energy flow, energy input, fraction of energy produced from renewable resources, the energy consumption, for example, per unit for companies and countries. So, when we do the measurement taxonomy, we are also looking at the systemic flow measurements. So we are looking at the resource flows, like virgin material and flows crossing boundaries, but also at the resource circularity, like retaining, regenerate, and create. So we have a lot of circularity indicators in different tables on the different categories, and we are also take into consideration calculations and aggregations that you may apply. So this is quite complex, I can say. And of course, and of course, because of the assessing of sustainability impacts, you also need to look at what does it mean for health and safety of labor and consumers, the CO2 footprint, the energy use, economic impact, like creation or loss of jobs, maybe that we need other investment and tax. To existing complementary methods which are already using life cycle perspective, like life cycle assessment, material flow analysis. And of course, there are a lot of You can say it's a very broad perspective. It's a holistic or integrated perspective on the circular economy, taking all these aspects into consideration. So it's really not. Also, is very important is that I'm looking at the time. Yes, is the need for alignment at all levels. So what's happening on country level, what's happening in the value chains, what's happening on organization level or on product level. We really need to align all these measurements on the different levels. And the World Business Council was talking about macro, meso, micro, and nano. Where macro gave it a little bit different wording. We're talking about regional. Regional can be on the level of India or specific regions or cities or districts, or even maybe on community. Try to align these different levels and try to find consistency and scalability between those levels. And that's very important. So the system in focus for measuring can be product level, organization level, like here, or maybe inter-organization level. Then you even go further, or maybe even a whole region like a country. So we try to measure what comes in from this. This can be the boundary system, but there's even more coming from the global economic system, and we try to measure what goes out. And we try to measure in which way are we adding, retaining, or regenerating resource value, and how can we contribute to the SDGs. So again, it's a broad perspective. It's a holistic approach where we measure the circularity and taking into consideration all other aspects on society, environment, and economy. And well, it's very well known that there are a lot of negative impacts in standards and avoid duplication. And we try to build bridges to complementary methods which are already there, which can help us. So what we say, the complementary methods can be a method, approach, guideline, or standard that can be used in complement with circularity measurement to conduct a circular. Examples are already existing ISO standards, and there are also examples on complementary tools for communication, like the sustainability leader on sustainability reporting, like is the Global Reporting Initiative, and also the integrated reporting framework. So we are building bridges to those already existing methods. So integrating the measurement results and the complementary methods and the stakeholder interests. And it's a process that will generate snapshots. So if you want to measure performance over time, you need to take multiple snapshots. And so we review by reviewing the results, including calculation and aggregation, by consulting stakeholders, users, and target audience, and by bridge to complementary methods, we can then document and report the performance outcome. So it's quite a lot of work. However, progress needs bravery. Yes, we want to move forward, and I would like to thank you all for participating in this information session and with answering the different questions. And I would like to wish you a lot of success. Thank you very much.
We have few questions in our chat box from Professor B.K. Chaudhary. The first question is ISO 50001 the standard for energy management systems also play important role for circular economy?
Yes, the 50,001 standard. Yes, yeah, that's of course we want to. For us, that's a complementary method. We want to use this standard in measuring indeed the circularity, how do you say, the energy footprint, like you can say. Yeah? So that's really important for us, absolutely.
And the next question is, according to your research, how much circularity as a whole is achievable ideally?
Sorry, let me see the chat. From which one is that question?
According to your research, how much circularity as a whole is achievable ideally?
Oh, ideally, yeah. Yeah, well, I think we are focusing, for example, in Europe, on in the year 2050, that we should be 100% circular. Well, it's good to have ambition, because if you don't have ambition, then you will not achieve it. But it probably takes more time. But at least we need global standards to speak the same language, and because the supply chains and value chains that are global chains, so we really need to collaborate and speak the same language. So I don't know if it's achievable 100%. That the time needs to show if we can do that, but at least we should have the ambition. Otherwise, I prefer to stay here on Earth. So let's work together on this, and we need the students. We need the new leaders of the future. So I'm very glad that you are here.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Famuri, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for coming. Really, we are very happy to listen to you. Probably if you can stay for another 1 hour, maybe we can see you again. Or if you can log in.
I need to leave. Yeah, sorry, I need to leave. I have a meeting for my group. Fully equipped with meetings, but
thank you for coming. Actually, thank you for honoring our commitment. We wish to actually invite you again in the near future. And thanks and happy Christmas and happy New Year. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much, sir. So next, I would like to invite our next speaker, Dr. Deepak Waikar, keynote speaker, researcher pro, Trainopreneur pro, academic advisor. He's a Ph.D. from Singapore, MS from Canada, Ph.D. certificate from Australia, M.Tech PGDBM, and PE from India. Please welcome Dr. Deepak Waikar.
Yes, thank you very much. Can you hear me? I think I had asked that question.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, and my slides, are they visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Congratulate you for organizing this wonderful webinar or seminar for Energy Conservation Day. Okay, and after listening conceptualize and capture some of the things. So what I will share with you something on how we can use energy smartly for sustainable future. We say Prabandhan because you are all of you are management students, okay? Management students, and you are looking for the sustainable future. Chirasthai Bhavishya. Okay. This wish to get the blessing of Goddess Saraswati. Om Saraswati Namastubhyam Varadesa Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. I think she has been blessing us. The agenda for the management today's introduction has been almost done. Current scenario, my first two speakers have helped us a lot. And I will focus more on smart energy management aspect. What are the challenges and opportunity and probably future possibilities? Okay. Just begin. Okay, I know you have been listening for more than an hour now, more than an hour almost. It is not easy. So kabhi kabhi mere dil mein khayal aata hai. Okay, sometimes thought comes into my heart. Okay, sometimes thoughts come to my heart. Come back. ये कोरोना ना होता how it would be. I'm sure because I think आज अब मैं भारतीय संस्थान का सामाजिक कल्याण और व्यवस्थापन प्रबंधन के okay I'm very happy to know that today I would have been in the Indian Institute of okay did you know about that okay IISWBM just to share with you okay I was born on the day of Deepavali and my parents okay Deepak okay and I will tell you what happened that reminds me okay Festival of Light. So where I would have been, okay, I just try to capture some of the photographs on your website, okay, and maybe this is another quiet place there, or maybe ping pong. That is what is happening if you look at COP26 or any other conference or convention, okay, they just play around it. So today, now I would have been at the auditorium. I think I got glad to be a fantastic auditorium. And also seminar room would have been wonderful to visit your campus and know about the energy conservation practices established. That brings me my memories. Okay, I also did my MBA, DBM, okay, PGDBM from Nagpur University, okay, one of the oldest university and similar to you. I think this brings me to closer to the students also. Same thing. मगर ये हो न सका. Or okay, but this was not to be. Okay, and that is how we are here. Now I'm here. Okay, Badal Atal Hai. Okay, we are here in the observation of energy conservation day 2021, and we have got two wonderful speakers already been done, and also, but still Badal Atal Hai. The change is the only constant. All of you have been saying Atal Badal Hai. This is the one I have added. Change is a constant, constantly changes. Same is the situation for the energy. Energy also, as you know, okay. Now everybody is talking about introduction has been done now. Everybody is talking about energy. Okay, so what is your feeling about the current energy scenario? Okay, energy is now over $75 per barrel. It is increasing. There was energy crisis also. You must have known about it. Okay. Yes. And that is why I say come back Corona. Okay. This is the one which you are seeing the slide upside down. Okay. Deliberately I put it because it has massively disrupted traditional system. And I know we just have heard about the circular economy, but now for last almost 2 years, we're talking about coronomics. No circulation, stranded. So what do you talk about circular economy? Okay, दुनिया गोल है. कहना है. Doctors, scientists are saying, जिनके फेफड़े कमजोर है, whose lungs are weak. Okay, healthy lung, weak lungs. Okay, healthy lungs, weak. Whose lungs are weak? Why it happened? It's not just because of corona. It happened. According to Versick Maplecraft, vulnerable cities, 99 are in Asia, 37 are in China, 43 are in India. So here India beat China. Okay, हमने China को हरा दिया है. All of us know this is the healthy lungs, and because of now you heard about it, I think many cities at this point. in Asia are in either unhealthy, very unhealthy, or hazardous mode. That is the case. We also know clean water. That is also a situation. Clean water. We had to go for bottled water to be clean water. And to do that one, because quality of the water is so bad, to make it excellent, we need to use huge quantity of energy. That is another one, clean water. And all of us know that due to and that also uses energy. And I'm told energy prices are going up, and gas also, gas prices, oil prices, electricity prices also in Singapore also it is now going high. Okay, because of the spot mass fluctuations is so much now, people are worried. So we are in 21st century and we are still back to basics. We want clean air, clean water, clean and healthy, nutritious food. That is still the basic of energy. This is what energy is. And if you want to conserve energy, conservation of energy, we need to have the basic needs to be satisfied. In 2021, they say almost a billion population went outside air is bad, outside water is not good. Okay, food is not there, then we the people we have to ensure it. So we need devices. These are the energy consuming devices, air conditioner, air filters. Okay, we will need it. Okay, we have to invest in that. Definitely bottled water, and they're talking about bottled oxygen, the mask, high-tech mask, and nutritious food we need it. We have to, okay, antibodies and measure your oxygen level. Now, these are the devices have become now very critical for our cerebral clean self energy governance. Each one of us have to do it. Clean self energy governance because of this corona, okay, and how we'll come back to the normal. They're talking about. Do you want to go back to this old normal like this one? Polluted traffic jams, industries polluting in the name of producing something. Is this circular economy you wanted? And tons of garbage, we burn it. Do you want to go back to the same old normal? And I don't have to repeat this one because of most of you are from energy management MBA program. So more fossil fuels, we like it or not. Now also we have to use it. And whatever the goals you have set for 2050, 2070 is beyond now. So till that time, 80% still oil, coal, natural gas. Renewables are coming. Yes, we heard about it. One of the speakers said renewables are coming. And therefore we need huge transmission network. There's a huge transmission networks, huge power plants, electrical power system network is needed. I don't have to repeat this one. The question arises, obviously, this conservation, okay, energy efficiency conservation. I had honored to be with World Energy Council for almost 2 terms as vice chair for Singapore in 2000. And at that time, World Energy Council came up with a statement. They said to achieve energy efficiency in entire energy supply chain, generation, transmission, distribution, and utilization. And we hope that now we have heard from Praveen ji, we have heard from Circular Economy Hans. Hope they will do load, home load, organization load, industry load. So obviously they say we want to do energy conservation. And if you go to the basics, this energy conservation looks at the behavioral change. All of you are management experts. You're going to manage people and other resources. Most importantly, people behavioral change, which is the most difficult, one of the toughest one. It's not that easy. They say, okay, switch off lights, fans, devices not in use. And then you can say you can get, but around 15-20% maximum you can get saving. So you are still consuming fossilized one 15-20%. And I just shared with you, okay, yes. And one of the reasons, because all of us are now facing this air problem, then we need to solve this one. Pollution in air, pollution in water, pollution in soil, pollution. Use of it if you can't get clean air. Obviously, one of the ways they are saying is let's go for metros. Okay, Kolkata has a metro, Delhi has a metro, Singapore has a metro, London has metro, New York has metro. Okay, Sydney has a metro. Metros are there. Obviously, there's a electric public transportation. Before 2020, probably they would have become more popular because of this COVID. There were concerns about public transportation, but still, they say we will provide very safe environment inside. That is what most of them are saying now. And now everybody is talking about electric vehicles. They say why? Because yes, environment is polluted. As you heard from about the Delhi, they say okay, it is coming from Punjab, it's coming from Haryana, it's coming from maybe Uttar Pradesh. It also happens for Singapore. It comes sometimes. It comes from Indonesia, sometimes from Malaysia. So it is coming from outside this, but till the time it doesn't come from outside, let us do something inside. Air pollution, electric vehicle is becoming now one of the popular choice. They say, okay, we want to go for electric. The question arises, how are you going to charge it? How are you going to supply electricity to this infrastructure, whether they are circular or not? We'll see that. We need power stations. If the power stations are going to be still coal-fired, one as in the case in India, 70 to 70% electricity generated from coal-fired power stations. China does the same thing, and Australia wants to do the same thing. Then what is it happening? You are going for electric transportation, but pollution is only a shifting somewhere. And it's going to come back, as you have seen in other places now. Obviously, necessity is mother of something. Now, once you go for that, now then people heard about the energy management system, ENMS. Okay, EMS is they are reserved for environmental management system. ENMS is for energy management system. I'm sure your professor must have told you they have been already talking about ISO 50001. Okay, that is what, okay, for better managing their energy usage. Then there is a problem. And all of you must have seen this one. I think, though we are talking about energy conservation day, because they say energy conservation is the base of the pyramid. Conserve energy. And then some of them say, okay, we also include into it energy efficiency. So, about energy efficiency, second layer of pyramid. And on the top, they say renewable energy. Low hanging fruit, you can do it. Just behavioral change. And you can save a lot. Energy efficiency, you have to invest, but payback period is there, and then you can get some money, and then you can invest there and achieve it. An earlier part, obviously, when this energy pyramid was there, renewables were expensive. And today, what they are saying that renewables are it has to compete with any other 24/7 reliable quality supply of electricity, then you need huge storage. And the moment you add storage, the cost goes up. So we are only seeing the phony way of saying, okay, renewable is cheaper than fossil fuel. That's not true at this stage. So what we want is, yes, whether it's your campus, home, factory, organization, or nation, whatever it is, that is your load at present dominated by fossil fuel. They are not reliable. Then from where you get it? To get, okay, you have to install huge quantity of renewables. Anybody knows? Easy to say, we'll install solar. How much space you need for 1 hectare, 1 megawatt? You need minimum. Think with the wind. You need huge space, and then depending on the weather, okay, weather god. So we have to rethink about it. Unless we have a reasonable storage available, that must be accounted for. Okay, that is when we come back to again World Energy Council mentioning about the same today's topic: energy conservation, generation, transmission, and distribution. Before you starting to change to renewable 450 gigawatt, what you will do about just having install capacity, and then therefore they say, okay, you want to have our transmission. Do you think transmission line, huge transmission line network, they are cheap? But where are you going to get money to invest into that? So it's good to plan. I'm not saying don't plan. Okay, plan, but not to plan. And according to Martin Weyrod, president of ABB Motion, energy efficiency is the world's invisible climate solution, because electric motors consume 45% of electricity globally. If you have got inefficient machines, inefficient operation, inefficient industries, and then you want to keep on adding and adding and adding installed capacity, it is not, it will energy never enough situation. Another thing about the energy efficiency, now all of us are in digital world, and Daniel Suchen in 2019, he carried out some case study, you can say, when we use our YouTube, okay, now it was by 2016-17, this is our mobile network use close to this in 9,000 gigawatt hour per annum. Now must have gone to maybe definitely, because the way in last 18 months we are in this one. Now even 1 watt we can save, that is trillion. Okay, it's a trillion watts saved. One more thing I want to bring to your notice, again, online, everybody is talking about this bitcoins, okay, and they without understanding about it, okay, people are investing, that is different part, but we have not thought about the sustainability, okay. Just now our Hans is from Netherlands. They found Bitcoin consumes similar amount of power that of Netherlands. Okay, 117 terawatt hour per. We invest into that. They say we want to have some business where you have to put some, okay, mine Bitcoins. It is a huge quantity of energy it consumes, and if it is used from fossilized energy, what is that energy conservation? This itself, people are now there, itself will take away your energy efficiency gains within fraction of an hour. That is what they have found it. Huge quantity, and obviously we are going to use more and more data centers, so this is going to go up only. And we are talking about terawatt hours, okay, not simple, okay. And those miners, okay, miners are spending anywhere, okay, from close to 50 to 500 terawatt hours per year just to mine that one. Useless mining for just verifying something random number. You have to have a server, you need to have a better computer, you need to have broadband there, you need to have good electricity. And that is why some countries are now finding it tough. So it is from fossilized one, it is not sustainable. Energy consumption is obviously is going to, so tilt is, if we want to have economic growth, then that is going to increase the energy consumption. But if you go for energy efficiency in sectoral change, then say yes, it will help us to reduce. But presently, the pendulum is tilting. Conducting webinars after webinars and having online, it is consuming. So will you be able to change your behavior? That is the most challenging one. If something is essential, has to be done. I'm not disputing that. Not disputing something that is essential. We have to do it. And yes, that is what this energy circular economy is there, but we'll come to that. Okay. Circular. Okay. Now we have seen level is very high. Okay, what happens? Okay, let us look at it. Okay, I'm just going to be practical one. Sugar, ganna. Okay, you know it. Ganna, sugar. From sugar cane, you get a sugar. And all of us say, kuch meetha ho jaye. Hai. Let's have some sweet. Mishti dahi, sandesh, rasgulla, rasmalai. Okay, Kolkata favorite. Kuch meetha ho jaye. That's when, okay, we have got any festival, anything happens, meetha ho jaye. Huge quantity. And but that is why now they are not getting, prices of sugar going down. Therefore, farmers are not getting their due, and thus they are not getting MSP. And you know that कुछ बेटा हो जाए कहते कहते कुछ कहते कहते बहुत हो जाता है. Lots and lots. Look at this. Aping. These are the apes of the Bollywood. What are they doing? Is it smart? Is it energy conservation? Because all this has energy. Food energy is there. Isn't it shameful to copy nonsense like this one? Must be stopped. These are our role models. So whatever you do, young people are going to follow this one, and whatever effort you are going to save will be bashed away by this bad behavior. So behavior must change. That has to come. Okay? Because all of us know diabetic tsunami is there. Almost 500 million people are affected worldwide. And all of us know India more people, affluent, okay, more people. What can we do to improve the situation? Okay, I'm going to go very fast. So now question arises. Just now we heard about circular economy. Now another term has come, green economy. Okay, they say, okay, sugar kanna. Do you want to make a chini, sugar, or tail? Biogas, ethanol, biodiesel. And we heard from Praveen ji, okay, he mentioned that almost 80 to 90% of our fuel is imported. And more than $100 billion of our choice is ours only. Choice is ours. Whether you want to make A, chini, B, tail. You can put in chat box whether what should be our choice, A or B. Because we have got sugar cane here. Simple choice. A, this side, from sugar cane to sugar to diabetics, and from sugar cane to oil, biogas, and these are, okay, you can say ethanol process is there, and maybe we can move into hybrid vehicle. So what do you want? Bhakkas like this, A bhakkas or B chakkas? What is your choice? Simple choice for energy conservation day. important step towards synergizing energy and transportation systematically, because that is where we're talking about gas. Okay, first electric vehicle, I mentioned about it. Okay, batteries. So combine that, because all of presently battery is a problem. So again, necessity is mother of. Once you make a choice, you will decide what is it your choice. So that is where exactly now energy, okay, conservation plus efficiency, they say combined together. Now you have got more impact. Depending on how much far you have got, you can go up to maybe they say 40% to 50% around that total. So you started with 100 units. Now you are paying only for 60 if you have done this process systematically. It's a managerial process, engineering process, economic process. That must be done. And then comes what is your feeling about renewable energy? I think everybody's talking about renewables. Then just now we spoken about, then you can add renewables. Whatever now you have saved money here, you have got money where you want to invest. Yes, you may kuch meetha ho jaye ke liye mat lagaye pura. Okay, don't put into that. Then you can decide to maybe cut your some part and put into renewable. So it's much more economical, whether it's circular or non-circular, whatever is recycle one to tackle 60 units rather than 100 units. It makes a common sense. That is what the energy conservation day actually should be, energy management day. And this can be done through systematic process of ISO 3001. Okay. Very quickly now, I have got limited time. What is it that is abundant in the world? Obviously, we have got human energy, waste energy, and spiritual energy. Okay, very quickly, human energy. I'm very happy that all of you are involved in one of the top institute which has got a special program, MBA in Energy Management. Congratulations. Also, I understand you have got also got intelligent management systems. Also, congratulations. Environment management, congratulations. Okay, so even if still you need, just you have seen something, some more one we are doing it at Adani, Singapore. We work on enrichment program. Whatever is not covered in your syllabus, we can come. We have collaborated with IICC Foundation, World Energy Council, International Energy Foundation, IEEE, CTF, whatever it is. We'll be very happy to collaborate, because after all, we are using your same smart term from management by Peter Drucker: specific, measurable, achievable, result-oriented, time-bound goals must be achieved for energy management. That brings us to the next level. We have seen when the lungs are weak, we have seen the blood sugar level is high. Now, who's jinka dil kaam chhod, whose heart doesn't want to work? Okay, that brings us to waste energy. The question is that exactly, okay, now what do you want to do with this waste? Hum jalayenge, kachra jalayenge. That is what you wanted. Huge quantity of waste generated, burn, dump, and waste, destructive one, or convert that into bio-waste to energy by systematic process, by even going for green hydrogen also. Choice is that again, A for bhakkas, B for sustainable or jackass, destructive or sustainable. What is your choice? What road you want to take? That choice will determine whether we are going on the road of energy conservation and efficiency in management, green economy, clean energy. Obviously now, that brings us now how you want to generate our electricity. By coal-fired power station, that is what the case now. China, India, Australia. They say we'll do it at our own time. 2070 we'll do it. 2070. Okay, तब करेंगे. अब our term is there to do, because what kind of development you want? Bhakkas vikas, yeah, jhakkas vikas. Young guys, I think you are going to be managers, future leaders, said by Praveen ji. Okay, Hans has covered about goal. Okay, सब कुछ goal है, goal है, सब कुछ घुमाते रहो. एक घुमा अर्थव्यवस्था घुमाने दो. But all of us know that, okay, energy cannot be created, cannot be destroyed. What form you want it, okay? Bhakkas form or Jhakkas form. Choice is ours. And then when you do that Jhakkas choice, then our load can start reducing down. Then what will happen is there will be very small percentage which can come from the fossilized, majority will go into more transition strategy. Transition strategy is more on energy conservation, energy efficiency, and then appropriately bringing renewables. Is Make in India, is Digital India, is Smart City, Swachh Bharat, self-reliant, Atmanirbhar vision. Clean and green energy. Is it put in chat box? Is it visible? That brings us to the another abundant energy, spiritual energy. What is it? Then obviously we need some different thing to take us to the higher heights. And all of India.
We need to
winding up. Otherwise, we'll be talking more. Okay, I'm finishing.
Yes, actually, there is another two speakers followed by you.
So it should be one only. Okay, just I'm finishing.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your reminder. The world walks on three things. Okay, literal transition, urja, energy, philosophical. Last one, okay, spiritual, urja. That is what is needed. We need that vision. Net zero pollution, net zero waste, net zero energy at its best. Net zero pollution, net zero waste, net zero energy at its best. Make them part of everyday routine. Keep our surrounding clean and green. Yes, I composed from a Hindi composition around last year, 2020. I translated it in English. Everybody is talking about it, okay? And that is possible. If that happens, there is what smart, sustainable, market-driven, accountable, resourceful, transformative, and then you can move from this, not only this, but even green economy, clean economy. We can do that. That is that is what the vision we are proposing: clean, green, and smart energy. Is there scope for hope? Am I talking pipe dream? What is your action plan? Okay, that is what we decide to become a passionate what. Om Purnamidam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamidashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashasya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Back to you, मेरे प्यारे प्यारे परीक्षार्थियों.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your ideas and views with us. We are moving towards our last speaker, Dr. Shashi, founder and CEO of Sage Sustainability and co-founder of Easeregtech LLP. Please welcome Dr. Shashi.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for coming.
It's absolutely a pleasure to be with all of you. So I just I could hear some part of Dr. Deepak's talk also, and very carefully I think he has been conveying the importance of energy conservation. So myself and my organization is on, and of course, on energy conservation, but what are the synergies between energy conservation and the rest of the SDGs? In fact, all of the SDGs. So is on if you can participate it, because it's not a very large group, it'll be really nice if it could be a little bit interactive. So I'll just share my Okay. So I think how the times have from last 2 years, how the times have been moving is that I can see a lot of because of the seriousness of the pandemic related situation, which nobody really foresaw. So before I, begin with what, you know, we will discuss, I think it's, we'll introduce ourselves. So I head a consulting firm called Cert Sustainability. In fact, we've set up another firm, Easeregtech LLP, to work on regulation related matters, which I'll come to later. So we are a certified and we started our journey in 2016. That is to say, for the organization, I have been working in sustainability for nearly 2 decades. And we have client base in manufacturing, automotive, textile, apparel, IT, and power sector. And we primarily our work is on advisory and consulting and through a sustainability report and informal communications, which are becoming very mainstay nowadays. And our engagement model is bespoke solution. So we don't do a cookie cutter model. It is also to enable and enrich, because we are basically a very impact oriented organization. So we want to impact on the real world through our consulting practice. So we always want our model of a typical consulting firm, but we are not looking at similar repeat work. We're looking at more advanced work with each client. It is just that much of difference. So these are some of our clients that we work with. In fact, one of the largest client we have is Hero Motorcorps, and there are other organizations which I have not really updated also. So our basic raw worth. And what essentially it is about, if you just pay attention on this, that there is only a donut. Donut can be considered a safe space for humanity, which is safe and just space for humanity, and for regenerative and distributive economy. So whatever you see in the well of this donut, say water, energy, food, which also relates with your SDGs actually, social equity, general equality, gender equality, housing, peace and justice, income, decent work, etc. That is all in the well. So the idea is to bring the shortfall in these areas to the donut, the safe space of the donut, without hitting the ecological. Countries, states, nation states are not really able to do that. So countries which are on very advanced stage on the social area, where maybe there's nobody on the well, they also hit the ecological. So they're contributing a lot towards climate change, towards ocean acidification, and other issues. So how do we find that perfect balance is model? So I think everybody is familiar with SDGs. I don't really have to dwell a lot on that, but for the sake of recall, which can be defined in a certain manner: and zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation. The most important is a people have no income, but it also translates to energy poverty, basically, that people don't have adequate energy, source of energy, affordable energy, to fulfill their basic requirements, as well as fulfill their potential. So now you will see that how each of these SDGs are very, very closely linked. And in fact, considering we work on all 360 degrees of sustainability, we have come to look at, some of the climate action can be considered as one of the core areas which can if we are addressing climate action, we are able to transform a whole lot of other SDGs, and they are very everybody amongst you, it's a very learned audience. So, we know what we're talking about in terms of climate reality. And maybe I'll just skip these and maybe focus on the affordable and clean energy SDG. Access to electricity, the data says 84.5% nearly, and 100% villages are electrified. We all know what the definition of the electrification is. It doesn't really mean everybody is. And power cables from the grid. So how do we bring these people out of the, that well, if I could, for the recall of that picture again. And then we have also ambitious renewable targets by 2022, which is 170 gigawatts. Now also the 500 gigawatt that is pledged for 2030. So, let's just move on to the next. Similarly, these rural people who depend on forests for a part of their subsistence and livelihood. And 60% land is still used for agriculture, and 24.1% responsible for 6.9% of global emissions. And we have committed to 33 to 35% reduction in emission intensity. But that is exactly where I think we can get very complacent on what the target we've set, and we can be flying high on that we'll be able to achieve that. Anything, in my opinion, that we're able to achieve very quickly means that, maybe the target is not really very ambitious, and we can really move forward in that direction to be more energy efficient. And so we have also, this is by 20. And maybe we could go back to this picture, and if anyone in the audience can suggest that by addressing affordable number 7 and number 13, if somebody is focusing on these, do you think that we have repercussions on any of the other SDGs?
No, ma'am.
There is no potential of overlap between 7, 13 and the rest of the SDGs. No? Okay. It doesn't matter. We will discuss that. So I will just, through one of our clients in Indian Techpreneurs Federation, which is a industry association in Tamil Nadu, we have, been working on documenting exceptional sustainability initiatives. And one of the initiatives that, for this talk, I thought maybe it's a journey for everyone to understand that, it doesn't have to be only large scale projects, large scale organizations that can make a dent on energy efficiency initiatives. It can be anyone at any scale but understanding the essence of what it takes to deliver energy saving in every sense of the word. So there is this organization called Somya Mills. We have, understood what they delivered, and I'm very, very pleased to share it with all of you who would make a lot of sense out of what they've done. So a lot of times, what people who with a lot of technical knowledge come up with technical solutions, but many a times it fails to deliver on the ground. So if someone can tell me, their learnings, do they have any learning that why do you think certain projects really fail?
Probably the focus was more on the that could be one reason.
That could be. So yeah, so what you're saying is that we think that the technology is the solution, whereas technology is a means to attend to a certain goal that we are trying to achieve. So in this case, we have the planet. We know that there is climate change, and as Deepak before me has pointed out to so many other things, including, which was very interesting, including it is not happening by chance. It is the way that we are moving, and this is how the specializations of one area don't get connected with the other area. So when we look at the SDGs, we don't really look at it holistic. Organizations also love to post, we are working on this and this and this and this SDGs, which they get from various departments, for example. Communicate with each other. This is, I hope I'm able to present, do justice to this case study and bring it to you in a manner that they have worked. So this is an example for, I would say, anyone who is interested in knowing that energy efficiency does not work in isolation, and the value of social capital enhances the value of technological capital. So when we were interviewing this entrepreneur called Mr. He's I think his name is Karthik. Yeah. So I'll first introduce the spinning mill. So what was the driver for energy efficiency there? The spinning unit was consuming on an average 45,000 units per day in 2017. And they, very tech solutions. So they said new monitoring systems for optimizing energy consumptions were put in place. Now they said that we will ordinarily you would think that there'll be some people who will work on employee awareness about what we are doing. So you will see the results were outstanding, and put together in a couple of years they were able to save about 10,000 units per day for 35,000 spindles that they have. Now, having said that, you can, I think, what we call this whole study was having bottom line through bottoms up approach. So they really, when I was speaking with the MD, what came out really in those interactions was people who are working, at the base level. So for example, and it was also very fascinating to know that when, typically in a very hierarchical system, people are shortchanging the experience of this guy who's working, or a woman who's working on the spindle for, at the ground level machine, to come and tell them what they have to do without necessarily understanding their pain point. So what I really was fascinated to he said that if this person is making some shortcut, and he said that if he's doing a shortcut, that means that in his mind he's wanting to save time or effort, and this whole saving of time and effort is how he viewed that, we as human race always tried to make. But when it comes to, we don't really value the experience of the person on the ground. And here we come from the top, and we've made some calculation. We say this needs to be implemented top down, and it, you borrow a lot of capital. Companies are okay to borrow that as a loan or something, but we are not willing to spend that time and energy to calibrate our folks who, in fact, it's not only one way, it's also to learn from them as to what is really happening on the ground. So and what they were mentioning is that there is a lot of balancing between the quality of the spun material, which they had to take care of, versus work atmosphere and optimizing power. They said typically when you find solution for optimizing power, they can be a compromise on the quality of the spun material. So as far as technical information was sphere, you have to have people along, and that's where I would emphasize on the social capital. So anyone who's working heavily on data, I'm so sorry to say, it's not about undermining the efforts that come with the theoretical structure and this larger understanding. However, it seldom leads to fruition if everybody is not taken along. And we can make our excuses that those people do not understand. It is not about them understanding, it's about us understanding them. So, so what they did was they did a smart monitoring framework which measures power consumption, productivity, and performance of each machine. So as I said, that company saved about 10,000 units a day. So these were the major power saving areas. So at plant, air used, compressors, spinning, waste collection, inverters, waste collection, opening and cleaning, and speed setting and optimization. Yeah, I think that. So, and apart from that, one other thing about this organization was that they are using their own renewable energy sources for 75% of its requirement. Okay, so why I brought this study out was that you must, if we hear this person who said that every time he said, I observed that there is some litter on the ground, for example, and why there is some litter on the ground for one person and not for the other. It takes a little longer. It's easy to come and shout at the workers and say that you've not been really managing your area properly. But if the dustbin is for example 10 feet away from him, and his productivity shifts in the meantime if he goes and throws something and comes back there, so that means, so that kind of observation is required. But what is really fascinating about this whole program was that not only did they have such an intensive participation by everyone, they also told the workers that we will do profit sharing. They incentivized this whole program of energy efficiency. So I'm not sure if we have come across many organizations where energy savings are, incentivized in that manner. So I'm just comparing. So this Ramasundram, who they were really very, they were speaking with a lot of admiration behind this person's knowledge. And that person, Mr. Ramasundram, who is technical advisor, he said that it is, the focus is not energy saving but energy optimization, which I think all of us understand. And what Mr. Karthik, who's the MD of the company, said, if quote unquote, what would I do in the circumstance if I were in the place of the person operating the machine or labor? So that is my approach, and we're using shortcuts, and that is a significant thing in human evolution. We only need to solve that problem. The influential listening skills are perhaps one of the most underrated forms of communication, especially in top-down hierarchical systems. So that is what our inference was from there. So while I'm not talking about some high-flying system or moving towards automated systems, or I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about really taking along people. Like I said, if technology is a means and planet is the goal, then the only way to achieve it is to align with people and take them along. I will just run back to this picture once again and say how, if we have incentivized the energy targets decent work and economic growth. Does it not? Does it not target industry innovation and infrastructure? Does it not target reduced inequalities? Does it not target sustainable city and communities? Does it not target, because they will understand energy conservation is powerful, sustainable consumption and production. And why should we only think about that my program should only be, my number 7 should at the most be linked to number 13 and nothing else? Similarly, if this program is slightly more gender sensitive also, which it was in this case, which I have not highlighted here. But again, and then good health and well-being, because an organization who's looking after their employees in that sense and giving them a part of the, the savings that they have achieved, about 2.5 crores at and the nurturing of what Dr. Deepak also mentioned, which is a spiritual part, which is very spiritual journey here, which is good health and well-being. Once you start understanding why energy conservation is important, so I would say that there are a lot of synergies if one comes to bring your program to achieve a lot more than what you originally think that it can achieve. I'm open for discussion now. That's all I wanted to share. Can I come out of the presentation? Yeah. Hello, yes.
If anyone have any question, please put it in the chat box.
Very interesting topic, ma'am. Actually, we rarely come to social capital dimension in the energy efficiency part. Probably one question can be taken. If you can stay maybe another 20 minutes, maybe we can put more questions on this. Thank you.
Sure. CAD,
Nice.
AAD, yes.
Maybe we can just take the questions in the end if we can just hold for 20 minutes. Ms. Daniel from USA, actually, she has been waiting.
Sure, sure.
Yes.
Deepak, can you just introduce?
Yes, sure. First, I would like to thank Dr. Shashi for next, I want to invite for a special address. I would like to invite Ms. Daniel Doss. Ms. Daniel Doss is the membership. So please welcome Ms. Daniel Doss.
Good morning, good afternoon. I just wanted to say thank you for inviting me to meet with you this afternoon. Happy Energy Conservation Day. As we've been said, my name is Danielle Doss. I'm the Membership Engagement Specialist with the Association of Energy Engineers, which is the parent company for your chapters. A little bit about myself. I have been with the company a little over 7.5 years, working solely in membership. And I now am proud to say that I work directly with my student chapters. And if you have any questions, need anything at all, I will be happy to help you with it. The mission of AEE is to shape the future of energy industry through networking, energy awareness, education, training, professional certification, and community to meet the challenges of a clean and sustainable future. Why be a member of AEE? We offer local and national we present each year on the national level and local levels for graduates and undergraduates. We offer chapter awards, I apologize, regional and international awards. We do have as if you're looking for a new position or looking to start your career. We, as an AEE, can help you get ahead and learn with the industry experts. We offer discounts on training registration and books. We have over 18 available, and you can use the Career Hub to find a potential employer. Some of the benefits we have as for members is the ability to network and find local chapters, local student chapters. Yeah, we have member webinars that we do every month that offer credits towards your certification renewals if you are certified. We also, as a member, you can claim that membership towards your certification renewal. A new e-library through our publishers, River Publishers. You can have access to over 200 titles of just books and virtually ebooks. As a member, you get discounts on the virtual and ebooks as well as the hard copy books. And there's a link, I can add it in the chat if you'd like to try it out for 48 hours. A little bit about membership and the cost of membership. Membership for not quite in a career and you're over the age of, or under the age of 30, we do offer a discounted rate of $50. And right now, until the end of the year, we are offering $295 off of visions and all of the other member benefits. So a little bit more on how getting to being locally connected will help enhance your career. Like I said, we have awards, we have scholarships. We have scholarships dedicated just to international members. You get to reach out with your student colleagues within your university, universities around your country, around the world, and not only just getting to know other colleagues and get their student colleagues, you also have access to professional colleagues who can help. One of the ways that you can work with the networking as a student chapter is to set up a mentor program with your parent chapter. So have a member of the parent chapter kind of help guide this. Their career has done for them, guide them on the path to building a better them. You also have, we can provide contacts for other local student chapters that are around that you might not. And our student director for international director is Alan. He is in Lebanon. I will gladly provide his contact information. He is great with helping build the student chapters as well as working directly with them. Another way we could get involved is we have our C-Wheel, which is the Council of Women in India. We would love to get somebody as a liaison with the Indian chapters to help get the knowledge out and networking. They also offer a mentoring program where they take professionals throughout the world and they pair them with not just discounted rate for students as well as $15. They also have scholarships that they provide that are provided for women in the industry. However, you do not have to be a woman to be a part of CWIL. We have plenty of men that are in our the CWIL. And at our big conference every year at AEE World, we have 2 events with them. Networking cocktail hour after the conference one day that you are able to just get together and talk with like-minded people and just get to know them. Some of the ways to help build your and ask, what kind of topics do you want to hear about? What time of day works for you? What day of the week? And then be consistent. If you're going to do technical meetings, keep with technical meetings. We have some meetings that are a talk and kind of network. Meeting styles it's all up to you. Some student chapters go and perform community service. There are plenty of ways to hopefully build your chapter. At least once a month, if you can, or even more frequently if you can do bi-weekly. But the more you meet, the more you're gonna have interest and have people staying with the chapter and stay interested. If you have you're not going to have the people wanting to stay connected because they've had all this time where they're not participating. And if you decide to go on the technical route, we offer a list of potential speakers. Some will speak virtually, some will speak in person. That if you would like the list of potential speakers, just reach out to me and I will gladly virtually. Some chapters are meeting in person. You still have a variety of options on building your meetings. And part of the way to leverage your membership is to attend your webinars, attend our meetings, engage in the chat sessions, engage with the other people attending these events, and that you see on LinkedIn, communicate on LinkedIn, acknowledging their successes and then posting yours. And if you tag us as AEE, we always respond, which gets you better access and better recognition. We either comment, like, share. There's all different ways. And event similar to this, and having speakers from 2 different chapters working together, that will draw in more interest and potentially more members. Our events for next year they are all in person. We'll be meeting in Cincinnati, Ohio in March for our AEE East, in Seattle, Washington in June for AEE West. And 2022 is the 45th anniversary of when Al Tuman started AEE, which brings us back to Atlanta, where our home office is. We will be in Atlanta for AEE World in September. I invite all of you, if possible, attend. It is a great event. There are tons of speakers, tons of events. It is very fun and you get a lot of knowledge. And we will have our first European event in And I'd like to say that previous to this year or last year, our membership department was composed of one person. We now are a team of 3. Michelle Whitlock is our executive administrator. She oversees pretty much everything in the membership department. We have Mel Rowan, who just got married. She was previously Mel Klaus. She is our membership director. She builds all of the webinars and all of the events. And I am the membership engagement specialist. I work directly with your chapters, your student chapters especially, and I'm here to help with all of your needs. And that is all I have for today.
Thank you so much, Ms. Daniel, for gracing us with your presence and sharing all the relevant informations, mission, vision, and different activities of AEE. Thank you so much for joining us. Now we have reached the end of the session, and now I would like to request Dr. L.N. Bemri to deliver the vote of thanks to all our speakers and other guests.
Thank you, Rikta. Thank you very much. It's really enlightening evening, actually, we have spent in the last few days of this year, 2021. It has been very successful for AE IISWBM Kolkata chapter. And we have actually conducted AE Talk series in the month of May. And we have celebrated the energy, Akshay Urja Divas, that is Renewable Energy Day in the month of August. And we have celebrated Energy Storage Day in the month of September. And we have a civil talk last month, that is the November 28th, I suppose. And this is our last event of this year, that is the Energy Conservation Day. And the team, actually AE team of IISWBM, that is 2020-22 batch, that is MBA Energy Management, has been very, very active in this year. And the last maybe 8-9 months, we have been really working very hard to bring many people from all over the globe and share some of the new happenings that are going in the industry, that is especially energy conservation or maybe energy storage. And we have been very fortunate also to receive acceptance from many speakers at maybe a short notice. They have really accepted our invitation, and they have really all the 4 speakers have been very awesome. And Ms. Daniel, actually, we are very sorry we have taken your time in the middle of night. Maybe I do not know exactly the timings. And also Dr. Deepak ji, actually, they are going Singapore. They are almost 2 hours ahead of us. And maybe he has to take some rest also. And Praveen ji, actually, the first speaker, he has really given a lot of improvements that have been happening in the Adani Transmission Limited. And actually, we are fortunate to know actually what is industry is doing and how actually they are progressing in the metropolitan cities, especially Mumbai, and what actually Adani is doing. And Hans, actually, Dr. Hans has been very excellent with the circular economy context. And he has shared a lot of upcoming, ISO standards that are there in the ISO with respect to circular economy. We are very much thankful to both of them. Of course, they are not there in the online, but really they have shared a lot of information for us on this day. And Dr. Deepak ji, you are exceptional. You have really blended the Indian culture, Indian values with the energy, and you have really made a complete, a kind of a synergy between the health or maybe the energy and the conservation that we are doing. And you have also cautioned us in we are very fortunate for you, sir. We are really thankful for your a kind of a different dimension, which normally we don't see in the regular talks. That's why actually we have been very much happy to you. And Dr. Shashi ji, actually, you are also very good. Actually, we have not seen such kind of case studies because this is not a textile area, this is not a spinning mill area. So we don't come across that kind of happenings that you are doing. And we are very thankful to you that actually, you have blended the social capital scenario with the economic capital or maybe technological capital. The triangulation of these 3 things are, we don't see unless we happening there and share with us the very same information. We cannot really travel 2,000 kilometers to see what is happening. You have really brought the whole spinning mill industry to us, and it is very nice. Actually, if we really go back to and understand the topic and your presentation, and if we assimilate the learnings that we are doing, definitely actually the behavioral aspects of the energy industry is very much needed. That is one way to really add the conservation dimension, energy conservation dimension to the story. Thanks for coming and thanks for honoring this commitment. And Ms. Danielle, actually we are very much doing a lot in the AE sector. And actually Dr. Professor BKC actually sent Professor Binay Chaudhary sir actually sent a small message in the chat box. And we have been also actually active with the CIVIL, and we have started acting the renewable energy day. We have celebrated exclusively for women, with women. Almost 5 women speakers have been invited from the industry as well as the energy service sector. And that has been very fruitful. That was in the August, maybe 21st August 2021. We have celebrated that renewable energy day. For India, actually, we celebrate on that day. So CIVIL actually has conducted that particular day, and we have invited 5 speakers. Very excellent organization we have done, and one of them was also we have invited in the CIVIL the energy storage day. On that also we have invited one women speaker, and she was actually an entrepreneur in the energy storage. She has been very popular in India, and she has been called as a battery wala women. That as her surname, her family name. That's how actually she has been promoting her business. And as I said, in the November 21st, November 20th also we have taken some CIVIL talk. So overall, actually we have been very active. We have been doing a lot, but actually why we have called, why we have invited for this day is to really brand our activities and take it to another level, because we have already done a sufficient number of activities in the last maybe 8 months. And we want to elevate this one CIVIL as well as AE together. We want to really project our showcase, our activities. And of course, actually, the pandemic has helped us in a one way. That is, the webinar was very easy for us to conduct, and we have actually invited many international speakers. So that way, actually, we cannot really say good about the pandemic, but it has helped us to really bring many speakers all over the globe and connect with the what we are doing today. And the research and our faculty members, faculty mentors, and the staff also, actually they have been really supporting us with the environment that we are doing, and the mentorship was very exceptional for the last 8 months, and we'll continue to do this. We'll continue to interact with you, AE or maybe CIVIL in the future, and definitely we'll elevate our activities in a better level, to a higher level, and get the recognition globally. Thank you very much. Thanks for everybody for coming and staging this particular show. And IISWBM has been very exceptional in this sector for the last 8 months, and I'm very proud to be with this team. Thank you for coming all the way, and very nice presentations. Thank you for your time, and sorry for disturbing your timings, sleeping timings. But I think you can take a longer sleep later. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. See you.
Bye. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you
I would
so
like
much.
to also thank you, Dr. Lakshmi and your team. I think really, I just watched when we started, there are around 50 participants there. Now there are 40. Means you maintain 80% efficiency. Congratulations. Okay, only 10. Okay, that is also, it's not easy. Yeah, 80% efficiency is a good way to start. Okay, congratulations, and really fantastic achievements. Okay, fantastic achievement. Congratulations to your team and your institute and your professors and obviously students.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
With this, actually, we close our session. We'll log out. Thank you. Actually, we'll send an email and maybe certificates, and those students, they can fill the feedback form as Rekta must have shared. And be with us, and we'll take you to another level, definitely in the next year, 2020.
Bye-bye.
Yes, दुनिया गोल है, गोल गोल circular गोल है. Okay.
To get the feedback form, to get the certificate, please fill up the feedback form.